Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Scaramouche. Scaramouche would not like that at all. In fact, it may just spur a huge fight between the two of you. That's why. So I wouldn't suggest doing it. But if you do, he'd be kind of catatonic at first, staring at you, trying to process what's going on. At first glance, it seems like you're passed out, but as his eyes zoned in on the situation, it seemed like you were not breathing either. Wyan? Hey, Wyan, please, get up. You're okay. I'm right here. I got you, he says over and over in desperation, before just stumbling over to you on shaky legs, his knees going weak with the grief that he was already processing. It didn't help that when he saw you like that, the first thing that he thought of was that he was going to lose you. It was even worse when he noticed that you weren't breathing at all. He really was going to lose you. He was going to lose everything all over again. He wrapped you in his arms, and if you opened your eyes, you'd be able to see just how desperate he was. How his face looked so broken and destroyed. How he was aching. Don't do this to me, Wyan. Don't leave me. Please. He sobbed into your shirt, holding you close. And honestly, you didn't know when to stop, because this was the first time that you saw him so emotional in your entire life. It felt like you had really done something wrong. And it was true. You had messed up. Big time. Scaramouche? You tried to act like you were just awakening, like you were not pranking him at all. And thankfully, there was relief in his heart, overwhelmed all of his thought processes and his critical thinking here. He was just happy that you were miraculously back to life, and kept holding you and hugging you, peppering kisses all over your face, and telling you just how much he loved you, and how he would never want to let you go. So stay with him, please. Venti? Venti wouldn't take it so well, but he would find out pretty easily too. He's not an easy person to prank. He's been an Archon for a reason, and he's the Archon of the Wind, no less. So he would know if you were breathing. So, when you weren't just responding to him at all, he would freak out, his hands trembling, as he put a hand to your neck. And you were breathing. It was fine. Your heart was beating. Everything was okay. Then, why weren't you waking up? Hey, you'll be okay. I'll take you to a doctor. You'll be fine. He tried to reassure you, picking you up in his arms, but there were already tears welling up in his eyes. Please, I can't lose anyone again. Still be okay, Wyan. You better be okay. He mumbles, trying to talk to you in any sense, and trying to reassure himself. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. He says over and over, but soon he's crying, and he can't even make it out past the door with you in his arms. And he was trembling, every bone in his body as he held you. Sure, every single sign said that you were alive, but he could be delusional. He could be deluding himself into thinking that. Because you weren't opening your eyes, there was no other sign that you were here with him. Until you let out a soft giggle, blushing. Okay, maybe that went a little bit too far, but I hope that you're not so upset with me. He says you immediately sat up and pulled him into a kiss, trying to shut him up. And though he was frozen and melted into it, at first, he then immediately pulled away. He was upset with you, very upset, and he was not going to talk to you for the rest of the day. Rightfully so. I mean, what kind of prank is that? You were going to kill him here. Xiao? Xiao was logical, most of the time, and most of the time he's been able to tell when he's been tricked. And most of the time, you're not pranking him. So, there is no reason he would suspect that something like this would be a prank, that he was not going to lose you. He's seen lost far too many times, and most of the time, he's not had the chance to consider it to be a prank. You had fake blood all over your body, and as soon as Xiao saw that, and the way that you're blinking your eyes, the way you looked so hazy, Xiao, he whispered, and he knew that it was your calling. You were going to die here. One more. One more person that you loved and cared about. Dying because you couldn't protect them. He was frozen for a moment. Just a moment. Barely so. Before he immediately went to your side, shaking his head furiously. No. Lion, stay with me. You're not going away. I'm not going to lose you. He cried out helplessly. And honestly, seeing him like that, tears streaming down his cheeks as he held you, putting a hand to your so-cold wound, you felt very bad, and immediately you knew you couldn't go on with that. You couldn't continue this prank. It was going too far, and you knew you had hurt him. You shook your head, sitting up, and showing him there was no wound, and he looked hurt. Relieved, yes, but hurt. He didn't talk to you for almost a week, and it was bad. Really, really bad, and you had to pull out all the stops for him to forgive you. But then you knew that you could seriously not joke about anything so serious like that anymore. Probably for a good reason. It wasn't that good of a joke anyway. Totally not worth it. And totally not worth making Jack cry for. So, never again. That's what you promised him, and that's what you intend to do. Because you just can't do that to him again. It was horrible.